Hello, my name is Joe Davey, and we're here at the Brevard Memorial Veterans Center in Merritt Island, Florida, and I'm here with Mary Beth Pace, U.S. Air Force veteran, and Mary Beth's going to tell us her story. Mary Beth, could you start off with telling us a little about your family and your early life?
Sure. My name is Mary Beth Pace, and I lived in Satellite Beach, Florida. Do you want me to read this, Joe? Go ahead.
You can.
Yeah,
okay.
All right. My name is Mary Beth Pace. I was the fifth child born to Donald and Letha Mae Pittman. I graduated from Melbourne Central Catholic High School in 1983. I enlisted in the United States Air Force in 1987 and served until 1991. I was a 22-year-old beach girl searching for adventure, travel, and excitement.
Mary Beth, did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes,
Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes, I have one brother and three sisters, and they're all over the world.
Well, what were their feelings about you joining the military service?
Supportive, yeah, very supportive, and supportive and welcoming to have me serve. Yeah. Okay.
What made you decide to join the Air Force?
My father was Navy, and I was inspired by a neighbor who went into the Air Force, and I always looked up to her and thought maybe one day I could be that person too. And I came to the point where college wasn't working for me, and I needed travel and excitement, and so I went in the buddy system with a friend, and she backed out, and I said, well, I'm going anyways. So yeah.
How old were you?
I was 22 years old.
22 years old?
Yeah.
And can you tell us where you went to basic training?
Yes, I went to Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, and that was, I believe, it was 12 weeks long, and it was the hottest month of the year. July, so it was difficult. It was, probably I caused a little bit of trouble, but I made it through.
Do you remember anything about your drill instructors?
We marched a lot, marched in all types of weather, and they were just doing their job, and I couldn't wait to get out of there. Yeah.
Okay, after your basic training, what was your first duty assignment? Can you tell us where that was?
My first duty assignment was Alaska Air Force Base in Elmendorf, and I went from the beach to the snow, and so I did time there, and it was a very nice very nice assignment, and I felt like I was with family up there. I was very, very lucky.
Did you receive your training there, or
yes,
was it?
I had to go to Lackland Air Force Base for the training. No, it was Shepherd's Air Force Base. I'm sorry, Shepherd's Air Force Base for the training, and then after that it was OJT.
Okay.
Just on the job
training. Was it medical training at Shepherd's?
Yep, surgical services. I worked in the operating room.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about your surgical services?
So when I arrived at Elmendorf, Alaska, I was assigned a very nice trainer in the. It's okay. I was assigned a very nice trainer, and he took me under his wing and taught me everything he knew, and so I. It's okay. During my 4 years of enlistment, I was surrounded by great professionals and learned to work in a surgical operating room environment. I became part of a team that helped save many lives and helped me to reach my full potential. I tested for my professional certification and earned the title of surgical technologist. These 4 years certainly molded me in many challenges and life-changing events in my years to come. Okay. And in 1992, I became a military spouse and mother in a small town in Turbotville, Pennsylvania, on a 33-acre farm with our 3 young boys. And my spouse and I decided together that he would volunteer for an assignment that would lead to Iraq. My husband received orders to Babylon. It was my job to maintain the 33-acre farm with our 3 young boys, Ryan 11, Drew 9, and Alex 5, in his absence. I felt at times like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders. Upon this return from Iraq, I received the Military Spouse of the Year award. This was one of the highlights of my life. On June
Mary Beth, can you tell me a little bit about your any other assignments that you had after Elmendorf?
Yes, I was stationed. My mother had gotten sick with ovarian cancer, and so I had put into for a hardship assignment where she lived, which was Patrick Air Force Base, and it got approved immediately because she was very ill. And so I packed my bags from Elmendorf and moved to Patrick, and I lived with my mother for her remaining time of her illness. And so from
How about your early on? You have a good relationship with your mother?
Yes, my mother was my role model. We lost my dad when I was 5 years old, and she was such a loving mother, and she loved God above everything. And I feel like I got my strong faith from her, and it was such a blessing because it got her through the trials that she had, and I inherited her faith from her. That's my gift. I believe the gift that God gave me is my faith. And she was a strong woman until the day she passed, and my inspiration, and that's where I get my strength from too.
Yeah, could you tell a little about your husband and his service?
Yes.
Was that?
He was Air Force, and he was also Catholic, and we practiced Catholicism growing up with the kids. They all got their sacraments through the church that I attended, and and we moved back here and got married back here and moved back up to Pennsylvania. So
What was it like on the farm there in Pennsylvania?
It was a lot of work. Yeah, a lot of work, and I look back at it, and I'm not sure how I got through it, but
Do you have a big garden there?
yeah, 33 acres of fields, and we took care of the fields and grew crops, corn and alfalfa, and all kinds of stuff. And then we had our own personal garden that we kept for our own vegetables and fruits.
Right.
And
Did you do any canning or preserving?
oh yeah, pickles, lots of pickles, and tomatoes, and
Do you have
cucumbers.
Any animals?
Yes, we had cows, dairy cows, and chickens, and peacocks, and turkeys, and we ate well.
Yeah, that's good. That reminds me of my wife was born on the farm,
Really?
and she's a great cook nowadays. She rivals her mother, who was a very great cook.
Really?
And
Yeah.
what she learned it on the farm.
Absolutely. It's a different way of life.
Different
it's a lot of
life.
hard work.
Yeah. Can you remember the day that you got out of the service, when your service ended?
It was in 1991, I believe, and it was a happy day. I got out a little bit early because they were offering early outs, and therefore I was able to
They let you
join
out.
my
Let you out a
husband.
few months early because you
Yeah.
didn't want to. They offered you re-enlistment. And,
Yeah. It was just what program that they were offering, and that was the one way I could be with my husband. So,
Right. So you were stationed stateside with your
Yeah, I was
husband?
stationed
or-
at Patrick Air Force Base at the time that I got separated from the service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you settled in near your hometown?
Yeah, back
Yeah.
into Satellite Beach, and I took care of my mother, and then my mother had gotten better, and I moved up to Pennsylvania to be with my husband, and we got married back here in Florida and lived up in Pennsylvania, and lived on the farm. Yeah, his dream, my nightmare.
Okay, can you tell us a little about your did you GI Bill? Did you use any of the GI
I
Bill
didn't.
for education?
No, I didn't. No,
pretty
I
much-
got really good training, and I
Good.
just continue working civilian with my surgical technologist certification,
Oh, did
and
you-
that
You work locally in the hospitals?
I did. I worked for a brain surgeon actually, and so we did a lot of trauma, and I was like his private assistant, and yeah, it opened a lot of doors. I was very fortunate to have the job that I had, and it was in the medical field, and my mother was a nurse too.
Mhm.
So I was happy that I got that, because I could rely on her to answer questions, medically for me that I had. So it was something that we had in common.
But you did mention that your husband's life ended in tragedy. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes, sir.
You can read it if
Yes.
you like.
Yeah. On June 5th, 2011, my husband of 17 years passed away from a sudden massive heart attack. He was 48 years old and on his way home after an Air Force Reserve weekend. Needless to say, I was devastated. In the blink of an eye, I became a widow and single mother of 3 fatherless young boys, ages 16, 14, and 12. They were also shattered by such an unexpected tragedy. We still lived on a 33-acre farm and suddenly found ourselves at a loss and without any idea how to manage. We needed to heal and learn to go forward in life. It was then I realized I needed to make some changes for my family that would help us regain control of our lives, refocus, and become healthier and stronger. We needed the strength not only to push through the grief and pain, but to move forward and learn to succeed again. I did some research, and the local YMCA seemed like the perfect fit. I purchased a family membership and hoped this was going to be our new strong. I became empowered through exercise, fitness, and dedication. I managed to find the missing link that I had been searching for that would put me into success mode. My personal goals began to expand. I started to expect and demand more and more of myself. This led to seeking out a personal trainer, enrolling in several community races that not only challenged me, but supported some wonderful causes. I was awarded the Inspiration of the Year award from the Susquehanna YMCA. In conclusion, it's an honor to share my story with you. Although the process of healing and daily coping has been difficult, in learning how to live without the love of your life is an ongoing struggle. I am comforted by the fact that my once fragile family has weathered the storm and emerged stronger and more confident thanks to the love and support of family and God's grace. He gives us a wealth of resources to bear and burden, for I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Okay. Mary Beth, what would you wish more people knew about veterans?
Veterans all have a story, and it takes a village to keep America safe, and we need to support our veterans. They're all heroes, and they need to be treated with respect and love and care. And if you come across veterans, please, thank them for their service, because they need your support.
Right. Well, I thank you very much for this interview, Mary Beth. I appreciate your taking the time, and I know your family will appreciate it too.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Okay, that's